This week on Storyboard, Anna Olin, Country Marketing Manager, IKEA India, is speaking about the brand's Ghar Aa Jao campaign and how after Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Mumbai, the brand's focus is now on Delhi. We have Dipinder Rana, Executive Managing Director, South Asia, Insights Division, Kantar, and Soumya Mohanty, Managing Director, Insights Division, Kantar, speaking about Kantar's BrandZ India Top 75 Valuable Brands Report. And we are joined in by Anuj Sharma, Chief Marketing Officer, Xiaomi India, who's speaking about why Xiaomi is asking consumers, wait, don't buy tech yet ahead of the festive season. And finally, we have Manish Tiwari, Country Manager and Vice President, India Consumer Business at Amazon, speaking about the genesis of the Amazon Celia campaign. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Swedish furniture major IKEA has tweaked its brand strategy for India to drive a deeper emotional connect with the consumers in the country. Launched just ahead of the festive season is the brand's Ghar Aa Jao campaign. To tell us more, we have Anna Olin, Country Marketing Manager, IKEA India. She's also speaking about their plans for the country and how after Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Mumbai, the brand's focus is now on Delhi.
Okay, Anna, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you.
So, you have launched a new campaign, which is Ghar Aa Jao. If you can tell us the thoughts and the objective behind this campaign.
This Ghar Aa Jao phrase is so often used in India when you invite somebody over, but it's also a phrase that you use when you want to be closer or friendly with somebody. It's a very warm and inviting phrase that we think will connect a lot of people to our brand. So we are inviting them now to our Ghar, which is our home, and the store, and of course, other channels too. So I think it's basically the objective is to create a deeper sense of emotional and rational connect with the customers.
Anna, if you can share with us or share insights on the kind of profile of consumers that are visiting and buying from IKEA stores today, and how has it really changed as compared to, when you just entered the India market?
I would say that people with children or families with children is something that we connect with a lot from an IKEA point of view, because we are the life with children is something that we really, really appreciate and highly look at. And I would say that families with children would be the main target. And we see a lot of them too. But even young people starting out, old people with an empty nest, we see them all. And it's so nice to have them all over in our home.
Okay. And also there were talks about opening small city outlets, alongside the mega store formats, across India, which you already have the mega stores in Hyderabad, Mumbai and Bangalore. And then there are these two city centers in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Can you share details on these, opening of the small city outlets, alongside these mega store formats in the country?
Yeah. Yes, Shibani, we are definitely looking into strengthening our omni-channel presence, I would say, because we are in our priority markets now continuing to explore and other opportunities in India. We have stores in Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad. And of course, the online presence in all markets like Pune and Gujarat can also be added to the online markets. But what we believe is that the potential of the Indian market and IKEA can contribute positively, as I said, to the home furnishing offer that we have. So in today's changing landscape, where the home has actually emerged to be the center of our lives. To be super concrete in our expansion plans, we definitely plan to expand. No details can be shared with you today, but I would love to come back and share more when it's more official.
Correct. So what are the kind of cities that you are looking at probably?
Well, that is also something that is a little bit confidential right now, but a good try. I think definitely most of us know that Delhi will be a strong market for us coming forward, but we are definitely exploring a lot of different possibilities.
Okay. And what is, your focus on online sales? And if you can share in details on, how has the Indian business fared on online front?
Basically a 30% online share and 70% still in the stores. I think everything during the pandemic, of course, changed people's lives and made us transform in a more omni-channel direction, which was a very good kick for us, I think, to be digging into this market and of having an omni-channel presence. I would say that more than expected, and this is a world view, people are actually going back to physical outlets more than what we expected, which is very, very nice, because we believe that our stores is something people should experience. But it also creates an amazing amount of online customers, which means that they connect both. The physical store is there for checking and touching and feeling, and a lot of customers, they actually go home to buy online. So that connection is going to be there, I think, for a long time.
Okay, if you can share with us, Anna, what excites IKEA most about the next few months?
I think from a personal point of view, I would definitely say that the new positioning launch of Garajao and the long-term benefits we will reap from that is making me extremely excited and happy. I think that also this journey we have in India of creating a life at home movement, making more people interested in home furnishing, seeing the connection that the improved home will actually cater to a better life. That is also something that I'm so looking forward to see how that will pan out in the next few years. We want to become a strong part of the everyday life for the many people in India. And I think that is also extremely exciting to create this home furnishing interest.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thanks, Anna, for sharing these insights with us, and thanks for joining us on CNBC-TV18.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Dipinder Rana, Executive Managing Director, South Asia, Insights Division, Kantar, and Soumya Mohanty, Managing Director, Insights Division, Kantar. And we are joined in by Anuj Sharma, Chief Marketing Officer, Xiaomi India, who's speaking about why Xiaomi is asking consumers to wait, don't buy tech yet ahead of the festive season. Welcome back. In the recently released Kantar BrandZ India Top 75 Valuable Brands report, Tata Consultancy Services is the new #1 most valuable Indian brand, claiming the top spot from HDFC Bank, which had held the position since the first ranking was unveiled back in 2014. 6 B2B tech brands and 11 consumer tech brands contribute 35% to the total value of the ranking, reflecting the rise of Tech India. And 6 banking brands deliver 19% of the total value. Also notable for their performance are insurance brands, which have performed well as the pandemic increased consumer focus on protection of life and health. To tell us more, we are joined in by Dipinder Rana, Executive Managing Director, South Asia, Insights Division, Kantar, and Soumya Mohanty, Managing Director, Insights Division, Kantar.
Rana, Soumya, welcome to CNBC-TV18. Rana, let's begin this conversation with you. What are some of the key highlights and insights from this report, and what does it say about where India is heading?
So the value of the top 75 Indian brands has grown faster than pretty much any other market that we measure brand value in. So it's more than a pandemic, sort of post-pandemic bounce. It is actually a sustained growth and a very positive story for brand India. And as a bonus, like driven by tech more than anything else.
As you said, it's driven by tech, and tech brands and banking brands feature in a big way in this report. So if you can share or throw in some light, what is the reason for that? Or is it also reflective of what we went through the pandemic, where, everything or matters of money, people were very interested in, and of course, the adoption of technology was at a much faster pace over the past few years.
It's a combination of both factors. First, banks were always a part of BrandZ from the time we have launched BrandZ. Banks were actually the single
HDFC was the top one for many years.
The change that has happened is the tech brands, both consumer tech and business-to-business tech, that have entered in a much bigger way than in the past, which has to do a lot with the pandemic, because the entire automation, digitization of everything that we do has led to the consumer tech brands coming in a big way. But the business-to-business brands have also come in because they are going outside India, and there is a huge market they're exploiting there. So the TCS and the Infosys of the world, which actually have a huge share of the top 75 right now, is pretty much because they have taken India abroad.
Nana, what has really changed, pre-pandemic as compared to these post-pandemic times? When it comes to coming up with, these top 75 most valuable Indian brands kind of a report. What is the change that you are seeing? What is the shift?
The biggest shift is, I think it's forever changed the consumer as well. So consumers started consuming digital content a lot more. They started buying online and using e-commerce a lot more, even getting things like grocery getting penetrated on e-commerce, which hadn't happened earlier, or the quick service brands, right? So whatever you look at, these change behaviors have actually embedded themselves. Some of them have moderated a bit post-COVID, but many of them will stay. I mean, the funny thing is, even outside of digital, people are snacking a lot at home. So what we find is the consumption of salty snacks, for example, has gone up and has stayed up, and some of those brands are benefiting as well.
And how has brand behavior shifted? You're talking about the consumer part of it, the consumer behavior part of it. But
So we saw a move towards trusted brands during the pandemic, because big trusted brands, like, you didn't want to take risks with either product quality or your health during those times, and those brands gained share. What we're seeing now with inflation coming up is, again, the big brands are doing well because they have greater brand power, and when you buy a big brand, you kind of have a lot more surety around what is the value they're going to deliver to you, right? So, and that's where, if you look at our top 75, they are the biggest and the most successful brands.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shiva.
Moving on, tech brand Xiaomi is asking consumers to wait, don't buy tech yet. Diwali is in fact the biggest shopping season for consumers, especially for the ones looking to purchase gifts for family, friends or their own consumption. And especially with tech, big ticket purchases happen around the auspicious occasion of Diwali. So why is Xiaomi contradicting what industry is saying in the lead up to the Diwali sales? Let's find out from Anuj Sharma, Chief Marketing Officer, Xiaomi India.
Anuj, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you, Shivani.
Your "Don't Buy Tech Yet" campaign. Very odd for a tech brand to say that now.
Our target groups are normally, people who buy Xiaomi, are students, early jobbers, or people who've just gotten married. So it's a fairly young crowd, and they try and be back home for Diwali. That sense of belonging is there. Even if they cannot, it's Diwali that's spent with friends. When we were looking at, what do these guys want? It's a fairly tight group that we're looking at, our target group. And the biggest thing is most of them have recently got that independence. Either if they're in college or they've started working, they have sudden financial independence that comes in. So they look forward to making the right choices. So that's very important. Am I making the right choice? And the consequent fear is I should not make the wrong choice. And this is where this entire campaign of Don't Buy Tech Now comes in there. At Xiaomi, we've always been about fans. I remember doing a segment with you 3 years ago where we spoke about this entire fan community that we have. And when we say fans or users, we basically treat them as friends. They're not, when you say customer is king, at Xiaomi, we do not believe that. Because a lot of times, people would say things just to please a king. But you rarely give the wrong advice to friends. And we want to be that. We have been that right from the start, and that's why we built this community. And we wanted to kind of bring this into a campaign of sorts.
So what will really the consumer get, when you will be launching, the Tech Ka Shubh Muhurat?
This is our first Diwali after the pandemic. We've also got, finally our supply chain back in order. So we've got big things planned as well. For example, from a premium lineup, we've got the Xiaomi 12 Pro series. I think perhaps the best camera smartphone that has been launched in the country this year. We will have offers on that. If you're looking at a premium TV, like a QLED TV or something like that, we'll have offers on those. Something that most of our fans really look forward to are ecosystem products. Say a smart robot vacuum cleaner. which did exceedingly well during the lockdown because everyone needed household help, or say a camera or tablets or laptops. So we will have great deals on all of those.
Great. Yeah, and also, as you rightly said, okay, everyone buys, products typically on auspicious days such as the Diwali, such as the Shera, and there is a lot of clutter as well. There are discounts that you get left, right, and center. And as you can see over the last couple of weeks in itself, there are so many products that have been launched, including the premiums, the flagship devices are launched in the market. So, being a marketer from a tech company, with smartphones, with consumer electronics, can you share with us how or what is your strategy to break this clutter?
With this limited money, how do you reach these consumers? Or in our way, how do we educate them? Right. So it's not about spreading ourselves very thin. We did do a print campaign over the weekend. This is hopefully to get people aware of the fact that there is going to be more details coming in through. There will be more offers. But after this, we are going to go largely on the digital side. So I would say almost about 70% of our spends are going to be on digital and mostly performance, so that we tell the right people about the right product / the right offer.
Great. Anuj, this tech industry has been through a fair share of highs and lows, like sort of a roller coaster ride over the past 2 years of the pandemic. From highs such as, the digital adoption has become so much faster over the past 2 years as compared to what it was prior to the pandemic. We are better now even as compared to the most developed markets in the world. But there were a lot of other issues like the semiconductor shortages, the supply chain issues, the boycott culture that was rampant across the past 2 years. If you can share with us, how did all of this really shape your business per se?
It has had a profound impact on the overall business, especially for consumer technology, because a lot of it was connecting at a personal level. So everyone's got a point of view. But with all of this unpredictability, the biggest impact that has come in is, I think, the confusion of it all. Till about 2019, it was comparatively cleaner. It was easier to communicate with your consumers. But with all of this, there is added confusion in terms of, for example, because of the supply chain unpredictabilities, will I actually get the product that I want? And then on top of it, because of all the kind of different channels kind of stepping in it at the same time, will I get it at a price I want? And this becomes even more important when you get into Diwali season, because if you waited so long, basically means that, that current product is something that you want, but it's still above your price threshold. And till it comes down to that threshold, you are still not too sure about it. So that confusion comes in, which obviously, along with the amount of information that comes in, people more susceptible to the manipulations, the sales manipulation tactics that you would see, buy now or offers only for today. As a brand, we are trying to solve for that part.
Great. All the best for that. And thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Shivani.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Manish Tiwari, Country Manager and Vice President, India Consumer Business at Amazon, speaking about the genesis of Amazon Celia campaign. Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. The great Indian festive season is here and brands across board have started unleashing their mega marketing campaigns. E-commerce major Amazon is launching its biggest campaign of the year. And to tell us more about it, we have Manish Tiwari, Country Manager and Vice President, India Consumer Business at Amazon. In a conversation with Storyboard 18's Dilshad Irani, Tiwari sheds light on the genesis of the Amazon Celia campaign. He also shares his outlook for the festive season. Listen in.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard 18. Manish, it's lovely to have you on the show. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we are into the great Indian festive season, and I want to just begin with asking you about what do you have in the works? It's an important time for Amazon. Let's talk about the big campaign that's coming up and the genesis of the campaign and what the objectives are.
Dilsha, this year it's especially a little more special for the sellers because the last 2 years, while they've been selling online, the impact of the pandemic has been there. So it's very critical for our sellers to have a great Diwali and of course delight our customers. Just to take a step back, and over the 9 years, Amazon, we've in our own modest way brought sellers online, given customers an experience of shopping, and over time it's become synonymous with online shopping. So you still hear a lot of those comments saying, Amazon is like online. And therefore, we thought that given the background of the pandemic, we wanted to step into this season first with a campaign which is more focused on every time a product is shipped, there are a lot of people and emotions and expectations behind that product. So we've just launched a digital campaign which is focused around Find Life. Yeah, and it anchors on something very simple. That behind every delivery, behind every product, there is a lot of emotions, there is a lot of expectations, and there is a lot of expressions of the seller and the consumer. It's far more than just a commodity. And every order in its own way, Dilshad, has a story behind it. So what, at Amazon, what we do is we help customers find products, all kinds of products. I mean, you're aware we sell more than 123 million products, but more than products, we help customers find life in almost everything and anything they do. And that's what the digital campaign is focused on. It's about stories of real people, real experiences, and how Amazon helps them find product and, in turn, find the right emotions during this festive season. So that's a digital campaign which is already going in. Every time you meet someone across the country, the first thing, if you bought something new, your friend, your acquaintance, your family would ask, "Kahan se liya?" That's the most obvious question, and it's about who we are as a country. When you marry that thought with the festive season, and the festive season in some ways has already started. I mean, we are in Ganesh Chaturthi, Onam, and it will lead up, finishing with Diwali. The entire Amazon campaign is focused on this innate Indian customer expression of saying "Kahan se liya," and the idea, the hero campaign is around Amazon se liya.
Which categories do you see firing for Amazon during this time, and categories it has a stronghold in? And what are some of the categories that you think need a bit of a push?
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of changing habits. So we have a very large base of Prime customers. And this base has got accelerated during the pandemic. So Prime customers are customers who are very comfortable shopping online. Usually what we see is new customers usually enter online shopping either through fashion, home. These are the popular departments when they're experimenting for the first time with online. If we look at Diwali and what it is associated with, and when I say Diwali, I'm starting from Dussehra, taking it across the whole month till Dhanteras. Of course, electronics forms a very, very large part of it. Yeah, people wait, brands, manufacturers, all of them, their new product cycle, everything is in sync with the season. So obviously, in terms of value, it's always the biggest. And what has also happened, Dilshad, is if you, I think the seller community, the brand community, and then products like our own product, Amazon Pay, have worked really hard to try and fulfill aspirations. So if you look at the television industry, I mean, it used to be 32-inch 2 years back. Very, very quickly, the sizes are moving up. It's moving into LED. And there are reasons for that. I mean, if you look at Amazon Pay itself, we have, along with ICICI, India's fastest growing co-branded credit card. Yeah. We have more than 4.5 million people on Pay Later. And these are the things which makes electronic business far more accessible to consumers. In terms of units, like always, we believe it will be fashion. And then, of course, there are businesses like grocery, which peak up a little before the festive season when people have guests at home.
What is your outlook on the golden quarter, the festive quarter, or the fifth quarter, as some people call it?
There's a lot of expectation. All our pre-season sentiment study clearly shows that people are looking forward to this festive season. I mean, the last 2 years have been very, very difficult for everyone, personally, professionally, on the income front.
Manish, it was lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dilshad. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.